Welcome back to Wales. We're well into spring now with summer just around the corner. You might remember in the last episode, Teigan and I actually dug some clay out of our garden soil, hoping we could turn it into something usable. I knew our soil was heavy clay after years of gardening here, but we had no idea if it would actually hold up for making things like plates or small pots. We went through it anyway, removing any stones and bits of debris, then kneaded it into something we could work with. In the end, we made a few simple pieces, some pinch pots, a couple coasters and a few incense holders. Nothing too ambitious, just testing it out. And today, a few weeks later, it was finally the day to try firing them. I built up a fire with some solid hardwood so it would burn nice and hot. The pots had been sitting indoors for about a month, drying out completely, which is super important before firing. I brought them outside and placed them near the fire first to warm up slowly, because putting them straight into the flames would risk cracking them from the sudden heat. To be honest, I've got no idea if this is going to work. This is just clay straight from the garden after all. As night drew in, the fire burned down into a bed of hot coals, and it was time to place the pots in. They'll sit in there overnight, but whether they survive is another question. This is going to burn long into the night. Before we check if the wild clay pots survived the firing, there's something I've been really excited to show you. Another project that's been on the go for about a year now. This time last year, I planted some bottle gourd seeds to make instruments for my daughter, but also to try and make some natural water bottles. I didn't know much about them at the time, but they're a type of squash that once dried can be used for things like containers, instruments, birdhouses and bowls. I grew them in my greenhouse and to my surprise they did really well. The tricky part comes next though. To turn them into something usable, you need to get rid of all the moisture inside and let them fully dry out. From what I read, the best way to do this is to leave them somewhere cool and dry for a few months. So I put them in a storage container just outside my house. And now, 5 months later, it's time to check on them. Okay, so I really don't know what to expect. I haven't opened this box for about 5 or 6 months now. Gosh. Oh my word, look at my bottle gourds. Is it a disaster? They're all mouldy. I mean, some would think it's a disaster, but actually this is exactly the result I wanted. They're completely hollow. Yes, they're surrounded by gunk and mold and whatnot, but this is all going to be scraped off, sanded, polished up, and they'll be shiny and beautiful. And of course we can paint them too. All right, I don't think there's any technical way of doing this. First things first though, don't want any of that moldy stuff going into my airways, so we're gonna get the balaclava on. Protection, health and safety is number one. And then gloves, wire brush or wire scrubber, and we're just gonna dip it in some water and scrub it all off. This is great. It's totally hollow, still hard exterior, or that's that inner sort of part of the bottle gourd, which is totally solid. So this is going to be properly watertight, and that's where the name bottle gourd comes from. But I'm going to turn a few of these into water bottles. These are going to be the coolest water bottles ever, and also into Willow's little toy shaker or instruments. We'll put some rice in there or something like that. Let's get them clean first. It's coming out nicely now already. And I can even just apply some sandpaper to this if I really want to get some of the tough stains out. Or I'll paint it. Some nice plant-based paints. Oh, I'm so excited. This is going to be the most amazing transformation ever. 6 or 7 months in that little outdoor storage container, and then it was about 4 months growing it prior to that. So this is like a year in the making. Wow. That is pretty impressive. And what some people do, they like that sort of marble effect from where that decay had occurred. This needs a little oil, like with some linseed oil, and we'll see how nice it is. I think that's one that I probably wouldn't have to sand. This is a much bigger one. You can hear the seeds inside. So probably I could, when I drill a hole in this, whether I turn it into a water bottle, a birdhouse, a shaker, or even just a bowl, you know, if I could just cut this bit, use a small bowl, I could pull those seeds out and probably plant more with those seeds potentially. So it's a good little circle. I'm so impressed with these. So proud. These are going to be amazing bottles. Perfect timing. Breakfast, and you'll be amazed, I think. Look. Our baby toys and water bottles. And look, this is what they were like when they came out of the... Keep that mould away from you. But look, I scrubbed them and scrubbed them and scrubbed them. We've got 4 beautiful water bottles and baby shakers. Careful, you just put it on your carrots, seedlings.
Oops,
and look, are you impressed?
yeah, I'm very impressed.
So the next step is to, yeah, so that's the seeds still
That
inside.
is very cool.
Thank you. And so I'm going to drill a little hole to remove those seeds, clean it all out as best as I can, and then put some beeswax in to seal it. So seal the insides. You just like swirl it around. Then once that beeswax is set, you do it a couple of times. You can put water in it and it holds. And then you can oil or paint the outside. I'll tie a little string around here, and it'll hang around here with the cork.
Okay.
Pull the cork out, drink. It's the most eco-friendly water bottle you'll ever find on this whole entire planet. And obviously we'll make some for instruments for Willow. This is going to be my new look. People in the town, when we go to the shop wearing this, they'll think we're right hippies, but I grew it. Thank you for making our breakfast.
You're welcome. I just spilled it all down.
Beautiful porridge with foraged berries from last year that you froze. Baby with Grandad.
Yeah.
Oh, I am super, super happy with these.
So with a rattle, like a baby rattle,
Yeah.
do you need to do anything to the inside? Because that just shakes
Yeah,
already.
well, it's not a very clean shake, is it? That if you imagine in there, there's soft seeds of the bottle gourd. So we'll take those out and put rice inside, which is small and hard, and it'll go.
I wonder if you can put something more local, buckwheat groats.
Yeah. Well, you could put little gravel or stones in it, but people would just put rice in. But we can whatever, anything little and hard will be fine, even sand or something like that. And we're saying we'll still do the cork to seal it. Oh no, I've dropped my porridge. Oh God. Oh well, it's food for the worms. Sorry about that. As you guys know, as a family, we've been choosing more natural, less harsh products in our daily routines, from cooking to skincare. And one of those changes that I've been using for many, many years now is Wild deodorant. It's just naturally found its place in my routine. Wild use natural ingredients and is aluminium free, and it actually works, keeping me fresh for 24-hour protection. This is their new case designed by Emma Bridgewater, and the scent that I've been loving recently is Morning Meadows, very citrusy and perfect for spring, summer. I love that you keep the aluminium case and just refill it with plastic-free refills, so you're not constantly throwing things away. I've tried a few of the scents over the years and they're all really good, plus they're cruelty-free. To get your hands on your own Wild deodorant, then click the link in the description box to get 20% off. Use code GAZ2026 or scan this QR code here and that will take you straight there. Thank you so much to Wild for supporting the channel. It means we can keep creating these videos. Oh God, we're a bit clumsy today. Got porridge in the bed, porridge all over your legs. But look, I got another amazing surprise for you. Remember last night, put the pots in the oven. Look!
Oh, why would they look like they have the same finish as the ones
From Mexico.
Yeah.
Guys, these are primitive pots. None of them cracked in our makeshift kiln overnight. And we got the most amazing sort of two-tone colour where, you know, part of it's been engulfed in the coals, some of it's still got this lovely clay finish, and the chemical sort of, well, maybe I'm not very sciencey, but the whole structure of the clay has been transformed due to the high heat. So these are now solid, and we could glaze them or we could just keep them as is, but they need a little cleanup. How amazing do these look? Look at your little incense holder.
Oh, this is making me want to make some more.
I know.
That is brilliant.
Oh,
I love that effect.
Yeah, we've got enough clay in the garden to make like flipping lifetime supply. But yeah, flipping lifetime supply. I am very, very impressed, very proud of this work. You would have seen us make this in the last episode where we actually dug the clay from our garden. So it's wild clay, sifted through it, formed it into these shapes. We're not professional potters, as you can tell, but let it dry for about 4 weeks at room temperature, and then it was ready to go into this fire last night, and we just let it sit in those hot coals through the night, and this is what we've got now. Well done. Oh, they look great. I am so happy with these. I think we need to give this a proper test now. This is my little incense holder. Let's light a stick of incense and see if it holds up to the test. It looks beautiful.
Wow, it works.
Yeah. And look, they look beautiful, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Very, very happy with this.
Perfect.
We need to go and get some rhubarb, don't we?
Yeah.
From the neighbour's garden.
Need to stock up.
Yeah, should we take Willow?
Yeah.
You excited to get some rhubarb, little girl?
Yeah. It was a whole year ago since we did this last, and you were in my tummy.
Yeah, you're inside Mummy's belly. Can you believe it? This is actually our neighbour's rhubarb patch. She grows some amazing rhubarb here. It's like the biggest, most juiciest, tastiest rhubarb I've ever had. And in the past, I've made things like rhubarb pies, rhubarb ketchup, fermented lactose-style rhubarb, which is just amazing. We'll be doing loads of that. Today, you're making
Crumble, but a crumble bar.
Crumble
so
bar.
A bit different to
Yeah.
the usual.
Rhubarb crumble with a twist. And I'm going to attempt to make some rhubarb wine. Plus, we need to pick a load that we can preserve in the freezer for all winter long for our porridge and things like that. So we better get picking.
Yeah.
You want to hold that?
Yeah.
Look at that. Beautiful rhubarb. I know rhubarb isn't that common around the world, but we are so lucky to have this. It's the most delicious, it's actually a vegetable, rhubarb, but I absolutely love this stuff. So happy to have this here.
Do you need a helping hand?
I do.
I'm going to put them in here.
Teigan can't bend down because of Willow on her chest, so. There we go.
Nice.
That's a nice bunch. It looks like we're taking loads of our neighbour's rhubarb, but it's all leaf. And she says the more you pick, the more it keeps coming. And she can never use it all, so we're so lucky to have her as a neighbour. There you go.
Thank you.
Look at that, Willow.
Look.
Some rhubarb. We can fan you. But you can't eat the leaves because they're toxic. Willow wants to put everything in her mouth these days. so we're just teaching her what she can put in her mouth and what she can't.
She doesn't listen though. She does what she likes.
After Willow's first successful rhubarb haul and a family photo in front of the beautiful rolling Welsh hills, it was time to head home to prep the rhubarb ready for Teigan's crumble recipe, which she'll be making later on in the video, and my wine, plus get on with many of the homestead jobs that we have in store today. Seems like I've made myself a blanket of rhubarb leaves. It's a shame that these are toxic because they look quite healthy and fresh to eat, but definitely don't eat them. But they have a few uses. You can use them to catch slugs, so you put them on the floor near your vegetable beds and leave them overnight, and come back in the morning, the slugs will be hiding underneath them because it's like dark and shady and cool, and then you can just like pick them up and then just relocate them away from your veg. And then another thing, historic use, and something that I'm really excited to try one day in the future, is when you dye clothes with natural pigments, you use something called a mordant, which I think it just like helps set the ink or the color within the clothing on the material. And you can actually use these rhubarb leaves as the mordant, so there must be some sort of compound within these leaves that helps set the color in the material. If anyone knows any more about that stuff, please comment on this video, because I'm trying to learn, and maybe in a future episode Teigan and I can sort of naturally dye some material and turn it into some clothes for Willow or something using these rhubarb leaves. But what I do is just put them on my compost heap and they'll break down, adding some fertility to it. I just try and get as much organic matter onto the compost heap as possible, really. Now, as you know, in recent episodes, I've made everything from homemade apple cider to a herbal beer made from weeds in the garden, and I wanted to give rhubarb wine a go. It's an old traditional country wine that is made whenever you have a glut of rhubarb, and with this epic harvest, I needed to turn some into wine. I'm not really a big drinker, but I really am enjoying the ritual process of making these countryside brews. They are like time capsules of flavours from harvests of yesterday, and seeing each and every ingredient that goes into the making is a real luxury. My mum has often spoken about her mum, my grandma, making her own country wine, so I guess I have it in my blood. This rhubarb wine couldn't be simpler. I just chop the rhubarb into small pieces and give it a good old wash before stirring it in a big pot of boiling water. And the more rhubarb you add, the punchier the flavour. I can smell the intensity of that rhubarb already, but it's got to infuse, it's got to steep for about 2 days now. I'm going to pop a lid on it, stir it daily before we move on to the next step. These homesteading tasks fill me with so much joy nowadays. I never would have imagined being so immersed into this stuff 5 or 6 years ago when I first moved out here after living in cities all my life. I used to spend so much money and time outsourcing my entertainment, and now entertainment comes from the very tasks that give my family and I resilience for the future. I'm just raking up the cut grass because yesterday I cut quite a bit of this. I mowed the lawn, but not with my petrol lawnmower that I've just been sick of using because it's so loud and horrible to use, with a new delivery. My scythe that I've wanted for so long finally arrived, and it was time to unbox it, put it together and put it to the test. Oh, it's like Christmas. How do I get it open is the question. I cannot honestly tell you how excited I am for this day and this unboxing. I've wanted my own scythe for so long. A scythe is a traditional and efficient tool for cutting grass, powered only by the human, no electricity or gas, making it a quiet and meditative practice.
6'7" I am.
Sadly, the tool has been made popular by cartoon grim reapers in recent years, who always seem to be holding a scythe. But I guess they do look quite scary.
My washer on.
I put mine together after watching a tutorial from Scythe Cymru, where I also bought my scythe from.
See how that feels. Doesn't feel right. No, it's like that. Did it wrong way around. That feels good, yeah. That feels nice. Wrong way round. So, hold on, it'll be like that, wouldn't it? Yeah. This is not a tutorial. There we go. So, get my wedge in. Seems pretty tight. I'm getting confused again, aren't I? Yeah, that feels pretty good. Right, she's all solid. It's time for a first test run. I can't believe how excited I am about owning my own scythe. I'll be able to hear the birds as I mow the grass. I hated petrol lawnmowers. So I purposely left this little bit patch of grass to grow a little bit longer, and I just held off getting the lawnmower out because I had this on order. And now it's time to give it a go. So we're buying my fruit trees here. We don't want grass to be taking over this area with the fruit trees. So let's give the scythe a go. That's not bad. I'm left-handed and this is definitely the right-handed setup, but I'm just gonna have to get used to it. But I've cut some grass. It's hard on this hill.
The act of scything has been done by humans since at least the Middle Ages in Europe and in parts of Asia. A skilled person can cut large areas surprisingly quickly, especially early in the morning when the grass is damp and is easier to slice.
Oh, I wish I had flat land again. But it's working. Here's a nice long bit that I can show some true progress. Oh, he says.
Scythes are kept sharp with a whetstone during use and occasionally reshaped by hammering, which is called peening. And this is something I should have done before I used my scythe for the first time.
What I'm struggling with is that this bit of land is just sloping in all different directions. So I start off flush with the ground here, and as I come here, the blade's then in the air because it's dropped off so much. So I need to figure out how to work with the contour of the land a bit. This is not the best place to learn how to use a scythe, I guess, but it's fun. I'll get better with each go, and then when I eventually get flat land, I'll be a pro because I've learned on the awkwardness of the contour of this garden. So I'll put the drone up when I got flat land and it will follow me as I go through the field. I don't have to have ear protection on from the loud engine of the mower, and I'm trimming it back, so it's working. I may not be very good to start off with, but I'm cutting the grass. Look at that, that's a lovely cut. Oh, I cut myself. Oh, look at that, my first scything injury. My skin is rubbing on the wood. I have such soft hands. I need scything hands where I'll build up calluses where my skin touches the wood. Now you know it's my scythe, stamped with my blood. There's a scything festival coming up in June, and I told Teigan that we're going to this really cool festival. in June, and she got really excited, and I told her that it was a scything festival. She said she can't believe that she's engaged someone that is keen to go to a scything festival. But I feel that's where I'm gonna learn more how to use it. Maybe if I keep going, in a month and a half time when it's the scything festival, I could be good enough to enter into the scything race. I am competitive, but it's going to take a lot of practice. Don't know if I have the land for it. Just have to go randomly into farmers' fields and start scything without their permission. Already I feel improvements, and that looks pretty good. See, look at that. My technique may not be good, but I'm cutting grass, which is going to be my mulch for this potato bed. Add into the soil. Yes. I got an awkward garden for scything. That was fun. That really honestly was fun. I can't wait to get better and better. It's a funny new hobby that I've got here, scything, but I honestly was so sick of using my lawnmower. Especially, it was actually more hard work using a petrol powered lawnmower on this hill than using this. And when I get better with this, I'll be a bit more agile with it. And then also with that lawnmower, it's just so noisy, so loud, it's so powerful, and you have to wear like all the headphones to block out the noise. And I actually feel now like I've been at a lovely spa. As I was doing that, it was quite meditative, the birds, gentle breeze. I honestly understand why I was so stressed and anxious and depressed for many times throughout my life before I moved out to the country and started connecting with nature, because humans, we're supposed to be in nature. We really are. Well, it may not be perfect and there may be some scraggly bits, but it doesn't have to be perfect. I can always come back out and use my scythe whenever. I can use it all night long. I'm not going to wake any neighbours up because it's not noisy and horrible like a lawnmower. So I can't wait to get better at that. I wish I had some flat land to practice on, but I've got some grass cuttings here, which I'm going to put on top of my new potato patch. You would have seen us start this on a really rainy day back in probably January, and recently I planted a load of potatoes in here.
On a strangely mysterious and misty morning last month, I got up super early to get outside and plant my potatoes into our new bed, which was just grass 3 months ago. I started by removing a thick layer of mulch that I applied, which had done its job in suppressing a lot of the weeds and keeping the ground underneath very moist. Potatoes are the first thing we're planting into this bed, mainly because of the way that they grow. Their strong roots will break the soil underneath, helping create a light, airy soil that the next thing that we plant into the bed will be grateful for. I use my hoe to loosen up the soil some more and remove any remaining weeds. After that, I created some trenches to plant the potatoes into. I don't want you guys to be put off. You don't need a big bed like this to plant potatoes. You can literally do them in some buckets, and I often do this at home as well. This is a new way of growing for me using the hoe, which I learned from my friend Samuel in France, and you can see a whole episode with him on the channel from an unforgettable trip I had at his farm last summer, where they grow nearly 100% of all the food that they eat. The use of a hoe dates back tens of thousands of years ago when humans first started farming, and has been a universal tool in cultures all over the globe. You can't help but feel a strong connection to the land as you work it with a hoe. I felt very proud once I created the trenches, and it really warmed me up on such a brisk morning. I added a generous layer of homemade compost into each trench, and then it was time to plant my potatoes. These potatoes were sat on my windowsill for around 2 weeks in a process called chitting. The light causes the potatoes to sprout, priming them ready to go into the soil. I planted my potatoes about a foot apart, and in the end I planted 60 potatoes in the bed, which I hope will result in a harvest of at least 80 kilograms, maybe even more. The potatoes once harvested will be stored for many months, feeding us long into the year, possibly even into next year. I covered the potatoes over with soil, and that's the potatoes planted. And only a few weeks later, early signs of potato growth are visible. My cut grass is spread over the top to keep the moisture in, and then it was time to check on something super exciting that I planted yesterday. A whole year's supply of onions for my family. To plant my year's supply of onions, I started off by removing the mulch from one of the terrace beds, just like I did on the potato patch. I actually started my onions in a modular tray in my greenhouse a few months ago from seed. I sowed 3 or 4 seeds per module, and you can tell they were bursting to go in the ground just looking at the roots on the underside of the tray. I used my dibber to create some holes in the soil around 9 or 10 inches apart. The soil was lovely and moist thanks to that mulch, so I didn't need to water. Then my onion clusters went in.
So believe it or not, this is approximately 250 onions going in the ground now, which sounds like a lot of onions, but when you eat as many onions as Teigan and I eat, I don't think it's going to last us the whole year, but it'll save us getting onions from the supermarket a fair bit. And it's like 2 to 4 onions in each little cluster, and they'll grow apart from each other. They're probably planted a little bit too close together, but I don't have the most amount of growing space, so I do pack things in tightly, and if I feel like they need a bit more room, I can just pull one out and then let the rest in the cluster sort of bulge a little bit. But I'm looking forward to enjoying these onions. It's amazing seeing them go in so little, but then just in a few weeks time, with rain and with nourishment and this lovely soil, they'll plump up and we'll have onion breath for the foreseeable future. I also plant stuff in between too. It's a beautiful day.
Grow well, little onions. Well, we want big onions. This is hard to ignore because I just sat there for a minute or two. All I can hear is the bees buzzing around, big bumblebees just loving the flowers. These are broad beans, and there's a ton here. These have been growing for many months, all the way through the winter, and they'll soon be producing the pods. I just love broad bean flowers. I can't believe a broad bean, which you think is quite an ugly sort of very humble veg, but the flowers are so beautiful, they smell amazing, and of course the bees love them. But there's another harvest which I haven't really taken advantage before on broad beans, is these. These are the tops of the broad beans, and eventually this black sort of insect will take over and start living amongst these tops. So a good way to combat that is to pick them and eat them, whether you make like a sauce, like a pesto, or you toss them into a salad or in a stew or in a soup. I'm going to pick a load of these over the next few days. But yeah, broad beans, a ton of them. I'm hoping they start producing beans soon, because I do need this space for my corn and my kale and my pumpkins. I think that's what's going to go here next. And we got garlic in front, but I need to show you what's in the greenhouse. Beautiful. I could literally smell those flowers and sit there listening to the bees all day long. And it does make me proud, even though it's quite early on to spring and not everything is blossoming in terms of flowers, that we've got something that the bees love. Well, loads of things actually. And it makes me proud because this was just grass before we came, and now we're planting lovely things. And it's not just a garden for us to enjoy the fruits of it, but so many other things like this garden. It's a home for so many creatures and things like that, which I never expected to take so much joy from. Anyways, let's get in the greenhouse. I've got loads growing. Oh, it's a joy to be in the greenhouse at this time, but it's slightly chaotic. Teigan and I have been sowing so many things. Despite having the shop and having the baby, we just try to
utilize this time wherever we can to sow seeds, not just because it means we can go to the supermarket less in the future when we're able to harvest, but also because we get so much joy from being out here and sowing the seeds. So we've got everything from quinoa to kale to cabbages and basil and tomatoes and peppers and spring onions and herbs and medicinal plants and so much more. But today, something I must sow now, something really important, some crops that we rely on most. Cucumbers, pumpkins and squashes, I need to sow those. So I got some amazing varieties to sow today, and I'm going to be starting them off in my greenhouse in modular trays. So it's a simple case of filling up the trays with some really good compost and sowing the seeds into them. Doing it this way and using this technique of the modular trays just gives the plants a little bit more protection and allows them to grow to a decent size before they go outside into the ground. There we go, there's 6 trays. I've got my seeds in my pocket. This is absolutely beautiful. I cannot express the joy that I get from just being outside, hearing the birds and doing tasks that sort of give our future, give us resilience for the future, you know, sowing our food. And look, I've got a ton of seeds. I don't exactly know which of these pumpkins and squashes that I plan on planting, but I've still got some of the gourd seeds for the bottle gourds, which I cleaned up earlier. I've got some seeds, so we'll be planting these, and I'll save the ones I take out of the bottle gourds when I end up moving on to the next step of those. A lot of people actually ask us where we get our seeds from, and I think this is one of the most important things to know when you're starting growing food. I wish I knew it sooner. Where you get your seeds from is extremely important. A lot of the time, from your bog standard garden centres or supermarkets, you will find seeds for vegetables, but often they're not organic and they're not heirloom seeds, and they're often not fresh too. They may have been on the shelves for like a year or two. So when it comes to planting them, the germination rates are often not as good. So there's some amazing seed makers or producers in the UK. 2 of them I recommend are Real Seeds and Tamar Organic. In the US, I've seen Baker Creek. They seem to be really, really good. And if you actually come to our shop, we're proudly stocking Tamar Organic seeds. And it's so nice conversing with the customers that come in about the seeds and, you know, what they're growing, and we can give our advice and they can give us advice. So that's really nice. I'm going to start off with planting one of my favorite types of squash, uchi curry or ichiki curry. Yeah, that's how you pronounce it. These are little sort of acorn, small orange squash, and they produce like 4, sometimes 5 fruits per plant. So you don't need a huge amount of plants to get a lot of fruits, and they are delicious and they store great. So I just plant a seed or 2 in each module, give it a little water, and with all of these squashes, courgettes and cucumbers, I'm going to take the whole tray inside to germinate, because they need a temperature around 23 degrees, which is roughly room temperature, to sprout. Once they sprout, I'll bring them out into the greenhouse. Well, I've got a few more to do. I'm going to get my courgettes sown, a few more pumpkins, but Teigan is about to start making the rhubarb crumble bars. So cameraman Tom's going to go in there and follow Teigan making that.
Teigan starts off by chopping the rhubarb into small chunks and adds them to a saucepan, reserving around 1/3 of the rhubarb to add later. She adds a splash of water and some maple syrup for sweetness. Teigan is such an amazing cook, and for a while she ran her own business, cooking meals at wellness and yoga retreats, specialising in nourishing, gluten-free, healthy meals. I love watching her cook because she gets the same passion and joy from it as I do. Plus, her food is so delicious, it's always a treat to be cooked for. If you want Teigan to cook some more of her recipes on the channel, then please send some words of encouragement in the comments section. She's new to being filmed whilst cooking, and I know your kind words will be the boost she needs. For the crumble, Teigan rubs together cold butter cubes with some buckwheat flour to create a breadcrumb-like consistency. She then folds through some rolled oats, chopped local hazelnuts, some ground ginger, beautiful cinnamon and a pinch of salt. For sweetness, she adds some raw cane sugar too. Now Teigan's crumble hack. For a crispy topping, she actually pre-bakes the crumble, lining a baking tray with greaseproof paper and placing the topping into the oven to bake for around 10 minutes. Meanwhile, the rest of the rhubarb is added to the pot.
So I've just added the rest of the rhubarb that I held back for a bit of extra texture, and now I'm adding some of the leftover berries that we had at breakfast for a nice bit of colour.
When the rhubarb is jammy and delicious, she transfers it to the baking dish and tops it with a literal ton of crumble.
This smells incredible. Wow, look at that crumble.
No.
Oh, you're not doing the bars then?
No, well, the crumble we can eat today. The bars we would have had to wait till tomorrow.
Okay, yes.
I don't want to wait.
No, especially when it smells like that. That rhubarb looks amazing.
I know.
So vibrant. Wow.
What have you been doing?
We've sowed all of our squashes and pumpkins.
Did you do the little orange mini acorns?
Yeah, the uchikuri, I think that's how you pronounce it. But yeah, the best ones. Sowed about 12 of those plants. So
amazing.
yeah, they've got to come inside the house though, just to germinate at room temperature. So how long is this going to be?
About 35 minutes in the oven.
If you'd like more plant to plate recipes like this, then please support the channel by ordering my latest cookbook, Plant to Plate. Ordering the book, especially signed copies from my website, is the most direct way you can keep this channel alive. I ended up planting 5 different types of squash, plus courgettes, bottle gourds and cucumber. We are hoping for bumper crops this year. They're placed inside to germinate next to my melon seedlings. When the crumble was golden on top, it was time to taste.
My word, that is definitely a crumble. It's a lot of crumble there.
I got enough crumble with my rhubarb.
Yeah. Well, you like the crispiness, don't you?
I do.
I can tell that. But we got custard to go with it. That'd be lovely. Do you want some crumble? Please, lots of custard for me.
Okay.
With all that crumble. Oh, you want some custard too? Oh, thank you, Mama. Look at this, Willow. Look what Mummy's made. Rhubarb crumble. Let's give it a taste. You are the best.
No.
You are the best. Thank you.
Thank you. Homegrown rhubarb.
Yeah, you cannot get fresher than that.
Oh, do you want some? That is flipping delicious.
It really is.
Not too sweet, perfect tartness.
Thank you.
Lots of crumble.
Is it bedtime for you? Oh, she's sucking her thumb ready for bed. Okay. Thank you, beautiful. I'll get her ready for bed.
Okay, I'll come and feed her in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Tom, you wanna come have some?
After a couple of days, it was time to check on my rhubarb wine progress. The next stage is a really exciting part, getting it fermenting. I was so happy to see how vibrant the liquid was after just a couple of days of steeping. Now, because rhubarb isn't the sweetest of ingredients to make wine with, I'm gonna have to add a sweetener. Now, historically in Wales, they would have used a local sweetener like honey, and that would create an alcoholic beverage called mead, which is one of the oldest forms of alcohol on the planet. We don't have honeybees on our land yet, maybe one day in the future, so I'm actually going to be using some raw cane sugar. It's got the most amazing colour just from a couple days of steeping. I hope it holds on to that colour during the fermentation. Probably won't, it's going to change as the yeast eats and consumes all the sugar. And I'm adding quite a lot. I need to make sure it's fully dissolved, but don't worry, the finished wine won't contain much sugar because it will be consumed by the yeast. Oh, we're going to be here all day if I do it like this. When the sugar has dissolved, it's time to get the liquid into my sterilised fermentation vessels. That's better. I'm using 4.5 litre demijohns, and the reserve rhubarb will be kept aside to make stewed rhubarb for our oatmeal topping for breakfast. That colour is absolutely incredible. It's like luminous pink. I hope it stays like this. To hopefully keep this vibrant colour, I'm going to add some dried plums that I picked from my neighbour's garden last year. They'll also add a bit of body to this wine because rhubarb on its own would have quite a watery and thin mouthfeel. So I've got 1.5, pretty good yield for just 5-10 minutes of picking rhubarb yesterday. I'm going to get a good amount of wine here to try. First thing I want to do before I put my yeast and my dried plums or prunes in is take an initial gravity to find out how much potential alcohol content we're going to have once this has been fermented. So I just need to get some of this into there. All right, so this is showing a rating of 1.06, so we're probably going to get about an 8% alcohol once this is done fermenting. Now I could improve that by adding more sugar. I don't want to add any more sugar, so I'm going to leave as is. Only thing I'm going to add now is my prunes or dried plums and my yeast. So I'm just adding this brewer's wine making yeast just because it just guarantees success really. There's yeast naturally present on the skins of the rhubarb and on the prunes, so in theory, I don't really need to add yeast because of the natural yeast, but this just kickstarts it and just ensures that nothing's going to go wrong basically. I place my airlocks on top of each vessel. These just will allow the gases out and not let anything in. And because this wine will be fermenting for many months, inside the airlock I add some whiskey. Any liquid will work, but if I were to add water, chances are it'll go bad by the time the fermentation finishes. High strength alcohol like whiskey will keep fresh. The jars are importantly labelled with the date, and then I take them down to my fermentation station to sit next to my homemade apple cider and kombucha. Stay tuned to future episodes to see the progress of my rhubarb wine and if it's a success. It will be great to enjoy the taste of spring rhubarb all the way through the year thanks to this wine. Right, we saved the most exciting part of the video to the very end. We're taking you with us to our shop to give you an exclusive tour and to tell you why on earth we opened. Hello guys!
Welcome to our shop.
Welcome to our shop, coming in. So this is our shop, fferm, here in Wales, Abergavenny, Wales, which is a town we absolutely love, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of people do ask though, what does fferm mean?
Yes, it means farmhouse in Welsh, which is our native language. And it's really nice to be sort of honouring Wales because my country, I love it so much. Teigan's adopted country.
Yeah.
And on that note, this shop is all about bringing the community, the local community together, and our wider community, you guys, and also bringing local artists, craftspeople and their products here and giving them a place and an outlet to showcase. So we've got everything from like locally made willow baskets by an amazing maker called Amanda. We've got
Flowers,
authors,
the dried flowers.
yeah, flowers, incense sticks, and so many other Welsh products. But our shop is mainly like
An extension of our home.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. People say it looks like our home when they come in here.
Yeah, people that know us.
Yeah, and it's just natural products, so not a piece of plastic in sight.
Yeah.
Everything from beautiful chopping boards to, we've got everything really.
Yeah, well, everything that we have in our home, a lot of you guys ask, like you see mugs or bowls or ceramics that we have at home and you ask, oh, where's that from? So we thought we'd just make a shop and sell everything in one place, so it's easy for the local people to come and buy.
Yeah, we thought that would be pretty easy to do, but we decided to open this shop or get the keys for the shop 2 weeks before Willow, our baby, was born. Oh,
What were we thinking?
Yeah, we've had so many feelings of regret between that time and opening the doors, but you know, we committed to a lease, so we had to push on and do it.
Already it's been worth it.
Yeah.
Even before we opened the doors and the shop was ready to go, we said to ourselves, like we've done good, we're happy, we're proud.
Yeah, and just to be able to look back on the time, like in a few years' time, when if the shop could be still going, who knows, but just to be able to have done what we've done in opening the doors whilst Teigan's pregnant and, you know,
having
bringing
a
newborn into the world, we feel like we've achieved something.
Yeah, even though we did have many opening dates, we thought we'd be open at Christmas time, then the New Year, then Easter time we finally opened.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not ideal. It's not a good ideal way of running a business when you're just sitting on a shop and we can't even earn any money and we're paying out a lot. But it's not. This is a passion project for us, and just getting the door, just getting everything ready to open, and then seeing the people's feedback, the local community. Some of you guys have already been down. It feels amazing, and every product has a story behind it, and I guess we can talk about that now. So what are you most proud to stock?
Our tea blends.
Oh yes, yeah, definitely. So as you guys know, we're really into like herbalism, growing our own medicinal herbs at home and the benefits of them. So we have created 3 original homemade tea blends. This is the first selection, isn't it? We're going to do many different blends and volumes, but we've got amazing tea blends, from a forager's tea blend, a calming tea blend, and a sexy romantic lovers blend.
Which one's your favourite?
My favourite is definitely the forager's blend.
Mine's the calming.
You're calming, yeah? Well, I like this one because it's got stingy nettle that we picked ourselves from our land, lemon balm, rosehip and mint, so like an amazing sort of soothing but uplifting, just brilliant concoction. We also do drinks to go, so we serve these drinks to go as well, plus Welsh roasted coffee. I've become a bit of a barista, haven't I? I'm learning.
You're great, you're
thank
good.
you. I've had some good feedback on my flat white skills, but I still have lots of improvement. So we're doing drinks as well, so people come in, they have a drink and they have a look around what we have to offer. But the tea blends I'm very proud of those too.
Yeah.
It's like the first thing when people come in, we talk about the tea blends, don't we?
Yeah.
And like each one has a different photo from, you know, over the years,
captured.
In the woods, up the mountain locally, and bonfire nights for the lovers blend. So we'll keep expanding on the tea blends in the future.
We've got maybe 10 ideas of different blends to bring out eventually.
Yeah. And as the garden grows and produces more, we'll be able to utilize more homegrown herbs in the blends, and we only use organic herbs, don't we?
Oh, your mullein torches.
Oh yeah. So you may have seen on my Instagram a video actually went pretty viral where I used my homegrown mullein, which is an amazing medicinal plant, but it also grows really tall, sometimes 6 foot tall flower stems, which you let dry and you dip into wax. We've used local Welsh beeswax, and the Romans used these as candles or as torches to light up the darkness. So we're even offering our homegrown handmade mullein torches. No one's bought one yet, which is a shame.
Maybe we need to change the spot.
Yeah, we need to move them around. They're constantly learning where things need to go in the shop.
But lovely chopping boards. We only use wooden ones at home. Guys, don't be chopping on plastic.
Yeah, apparently you get like a credit card's amount of microplastics a year if you chop on plastic chopping boards. So that's something we got rid of years ago in our kitchen, but we sell amazing wooden chopping boards that will last a lifetime. And also beautiful ceramics.
Yeah.
Everything from antiques. We love like going to the antique markets and finding one of ones. Some of the antique ceramics we have are like over 100 years old, and ones that we personally love. We also have our sort of bread and butter ceramics that we use at home.
Yeah.
These lovely non-living ones. We got plates, bowls, jugs, mugs, oil holders, and everything in between. So yeah, what else do we got to talk about?
The foraging bags, everyone sees those in the videos.
Yeah.
Oh, and I really love these dried flowers that are from she's local, 2 hours away. She grows them, dries them herself, and they've been selling really well. They last, obviously, for so long.
Really, yeah. So she grows them organically, arranges them, dries them, and then and we're able to showcase her work here.
Yeah, and of course seeds.
Yeah.
We sell all of our Earth Song seeds, Tamar seeds.
Yeah, so we have like a range of medicinal herbs, seeds and vegetable seeds. The seeds brands that we trust, Real Seeds and Earth Song. That's Tamar and Earth Song. We can't stock Real Seeds because they don't supply shops, but we got the next best, if not just as good, Tamar organic seeds, which is brilliant.
Also, what I love that we've done in the shop is we have I got an example? Look, over here. We have little note cards to make each item, well not each item, a few items, a little description of why we have it stocked in the shop, why we love it. Here, Gaz has written one of the most important books I've ever read, Home Farming.
That's if people can read my writing. But I think the reason we've done that is because there is a story behind every single product here. But even though we're here all the time, whenever we're open, because we actually run the shop ourselves every Friday, Saturday, Teigan and I are here. We're not getting someone in, we're doing it ourselves because we believe in everything. But sometimes if we're serving another customer could be in here and not want to know the story, or we're not able to tell them the story, it's there on the card. I just love this oil as well. So we want to try and have as much locally grown things in our diet. And we've discovered this amazing hazelnut oil from Kent, which you can fry with, you can use as salad dressings. It's pretty amazing, really. And it's something that we are trying to replace our olive oil consumption with. Local oil, no air miles. It's great, and that's what this shop's all about. Yeah. Even though we're the face of this shop, and I guess it's ours, this is not like something we've done totally on our own. Our immediate family has been so helpful. We haven't received any funding or anything like that to open. It's all self-funded, but we couldn't have done it without, for example, my dad was first in here, like renovating the shop, repainting, building these shelves from reclaimed wood, and all the fixtures and fittings you see in here. We did it all together. Your mum, your dad, my mum.
Your mum, yeah.
They've been on hand to
help with Willow, especially. Like, I don't know what we would have done without their help. For example, the Fridays and Saturdays when we're open, Willow's grandparents will come by and take her for a walk around the town, and then I'll have to run out and meet them in a cafe or a restaurant and feed Willow. Yeah,
it's totally a team effort by the family. And
then I'd come back and you'd be like, Teigan, I need you.
I'm running around, so I've got coffees to make and people to serve, but it's all fun. And everyone that's come in, what feels so amazing about it for me, I'm a bit of a chatterbox, aren't I? And I didn't think I'd have so many amazing conversations in this shop, but I'm meeting so many like-minded people. It's unbelievable. I come home from a day working here, I'm exhausted because just having so many brilliant conversations. We've met some incredible people, making amazing connections, and that is exactly what I wanted this shop to be. Because we haven't got our land yet where we're going to host retreats, do teaching, do dinners. We wanted a stepping stone before we got there, and this shop is that. And we're going to be hosting events and workshops here. So because we put that little kitcheny area in, we're going to be doing everything from fermentation, kombucha, herbalism, cooking, author events. So we're going to get seating in here so people can come down, you guys, book a ticket, attend an event. We're going to do foraging walks from here. There's amazing parks and woods and things like that in this vicinity. So you can come, we do a little demonstration, and we'll go for a foraging walk and come back. But all the information for that stuff we'll put on our Instagram.
Socials, yeah. But also, it won't be just us hosting the workshops. We'll bring people in, for example, willow basket making, I don't know, candle making, or
authors. Like, you know, some of the books that we have in stock here. We don't have many books. We're not a bookshop, but most of the books that are on the shelves here have impacted our lives in an extraordinary way. So that's why they're on our shelves. And when I say that Whole Farming book is one of the most important books I've ever read, I genuinely mean that. And it's amazing to have these authors' books here because it helps get their message out there. So we're very passionate, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, we've only been open 4.5 days.
Yeah,
and
at the time of this video being filmed.
Yeah. It's just so fun, so exciting. I feel like in the week leading up to the shop, I just can't wait to open again. So exciting.
It is exciting.
It is so hard.
It's a bit of a tie, it's hard work, and we've got other things we need to be doing, like making videos or other ways of trying to survive in this world. But this is joy, this is really nice. And well, maybe ask us in like a year's time, maybe we'll have a different thought on it. I don't know, but if it keeps going the way it's going, we'll be very happy. And I just love meeting everyone and showcasing such beautiful things. No plastic in sight. Everything that's bad for the world.
Yeah, everything made from natural materials.
Yeah,
that's so important.
and we're only open Fridays and Saturdays because we can't afford to employ someone at the minute, and we can only offer so much of our time, and it's just Friday and Saturdays at the minute. To get here, Abergavenny isn't too far on the train. We've got a train station 5 minutes from our location. So if you're in London, it's 2 hours from London. If you're in Bristol, it's like an hour.
An hour drive.
Yeah, and on the train. So we're pretty easy to get to, and there's amazing businesses here as well, other independent shops to see. And that's why we opened really as well, because we love the town and we wanted to offer something beautiful to it. We come here all the time and there is some great independence, but I wish there was more. But who am I to say I wish there was more if I'm not doing anything myself? So that was a driving force behind saying yes to this shop. But when they come here, where should people go? What's some of your favourites?
Bean and Bread.
Yeah.
For food. The Chapel.
Yeah.
Cook's Galley.
Yeah.
The Angel Hotel and the Angel Bakery.
Yeah. The Art Shop.
Yeah.
Abergavenny Garden Centre.
Cook's Galley.
You said that, Cook's Galley. Cook's Galley's good. What else do we like?
And just seeing the market, you know, they do a couple of markets throughout the week. Yeah,
it's like a historic market town, Abergavenny, so it's worth going to see the markets. But there's so many great independent businesses. Tea Melon.
Oh, Little Green Refills.
Yeah, Little Green Refills. And sorry if we've forgotten any, but yeah, come down, have a look around. We're right by the mountains, so you can stay for the weekend and then hike up a mountain, come here on a Friday and Saturday, get your coffee, get your tea, have a look around, talk to us.
I think on Instagram we should maybe put a highlight or a post of like how to spend the perfect day in Abergavenny.
Yeah. It's all stuff we're learning. We've not opened a shop before. It's all new stuff to us, but we're getting joy from it.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll see you down here soon.
A lot of people have been asking on Instagram though if we're online.
Yeah.
And we're not. At the moment, we're just focusing on this in-person store. Maybe one day we'll sell things online, but for now, it's just
definitely
come to Abergavenny.
Yeah, we want to bring people here. We want to have those in-person experiences. We're not doing it for money because I guess, you know, it doesn't feel as real as meeting people, telling them about our products. So we want to encourage in-person stuff before we ever think about doing and online sales. Plus, it would only be us and my mum having to package everything up. It's all sound a bit of a headache. Oh, we don't want to do that. It's too much. It's too much hard work.
We like the interactions.
Yeah, we like the interactions. We want to keep it joyful. And when anything becomes bigger and selling stuff and products and packaging and shipping and it's all, I'm over that now. I want an easy life if we can, even though this is a bit hard work. I think we'll end it there because we need to save some stuff when you guys come in. But the shop is constantly evolving, especially as the season goes on. You'll see some of our produce in here, more one-of-ones, antique finds, local makers, and we're very proud. I'm so proud of this girl. She is amazing. Having a baby, seeing her work on this shop and get so much joy from it. It's been hard, hasn't it? But
yeah, it's worth it. It's fun. And it's a nice, obviously I love being a mum and I'm hands-on 24/7, but having a day and a half here is really good focus for me.
Yeah. And it's going to teach us a lot of things for when we do have our farm, and we're going to, maybe this will be transported onto the land there. Who knows? It may stay here forever. We may expand, we may go to other, who knows? But we're learning a lot and we're grateful for that, and we're so grateful to meet everyone and showcase local makers and everything in between. We'll sign off there, guys. Thank you so much for watching. It's been a lovely video, and we'll see you soon in the next episode. Bye-bye. See you at the shop. No, we'll see them at the shop.
Oh, yeah.
Come down. Fridays, Saturdays, 11 till 5-ish. We will be here. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh,
I love you.
I love you too.
We've got a shop.
You did brilliant.
We've got a shop. This is our shop.
What are we doing? Forgot to mention a couple of things, a couple of shout outs. We hate plastic neon shop signs. Awful. So we had our shop beautifully hand painted by the amazing, talented Nick, the sign painter, hand painted, a tradition that should be continued, so we did that. We got Cold Town Coffee, a Welsh roastery. They supported us with a beautiful La Marzocco coffee machine of my dreams, so that is so lucky. And Kettle Tap have provided us with an instant boiling water tap so we can serve our amazing homemade tea blends to you guys. So shout out to those 3 people there. Sorry if we forgot about anyone.
Oh, and our logo, some people might not know why we chose a daffodil, because it's the national flower of Wales.
Yes, and that was beautifully brought to life by White Sky Creative.
Josh.
Yeah. See you soon.
Time for a coffee, but...
Well, I can make a coffee.
Oh, wait, you didn't talk about the cakes.
Guys, sorry, we also make homemade cakes. There's nothing here now because we're not open, but I make homemade cakes.
Barabrith.
Usually it's Welsh cakes like Barabrith, so you can get those here too. That are totally organic, no seed oils, plant-based and delicious.
I think that's all, right?
Yeah.
Right, are we done?
Yeah.